morning, beloveds. It's Friday. I lost track of time just a little bit, so I'm going to do something a little unusual. And rather than going to the next essay, I'm going to skip 2 essays and go to a really short essay because I'm a little short on time. And then this weekend, we will do the 2 slightly longer essays. They're not really long. It's just I want to give them their full due, and I don't think I have time to do that today. So that's what we are going to do. So if you were following along in the book with me, you know, the Living in a Science Mind, I am skipping 2 essays. I will come back to them. So there is that's what's happening here. So let's do the housekeeping really quick, which is me reminding you, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact is info@creativelife.org. If you will email that, then you get 1 email a week telling you what's going on for the week and the month. And the hot links are hot. It is also a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. Nobody will get your email from us. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of that. So worth doing. Okay, I said the website was creativelife.org. Social media. We do not monetize the social media. We are not asking you for money. We are not giving Facebook money. Okay? So what we ask you to do instead is to go like, subscribe, share, and follow, and comment. Basically on the pages, whichever platform, like, subscribe, follow. And then on the posts, go like, comment, and share. It bumps us in the algorithms, and we think we have good stuff to share. We hope you enjoy the tools as much as we enjoy providing them for you. So there's that. Okay. I think that's everything. Okay. So just real quick, Science of Mind textbook. My pet theory, people kept coming up to Ernest after they got a hold of the textbook with questions. And so, because like if you Google it, it says Ernest's commentary on his own seminal work, The Science of Mind Text. But the essays came out of an at-home course. It was in the back of the Science of Mind magazine. You could mail off for it, which I think is really cool. But I really do think that came out of people. They'd come to his lectures and they would have questions. So they would write to him. And so that's, but as I said, my pet theory. So, what we are going to do today, what we're skipping is the sequence, ironically, of the creative order. And then another one called What Goes Out Must Return. So we will go back and do that on Saturday and Sunday. But today we are going to do the law, schoolmaster, or servant. And the reason why we are doing it is it's 1 page. All right. And I like the title. So I intend to read every essay in here, but point being, all right, the law, schoolmaster or servant. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith. But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster. Galatians 3:24-25. One of the few times Ernest cites his sources. This means that the law of cause and effect is a taskmaster while we are ignorant of its operation. And being ignorant, we use the law destructively. Experience teaches us what is best. We learn that good alone can be eternal and that love overcomes hate by the same law of cause and effect which made hate seem real. Thus, we are justified by faith, and we are no longer under the schoolmaster of the law. This does not mean that the law is destroyed. It means that we have reversed our use of the law. We have brought chance into compliance with love, reason, and faith. We have caught the lightning and made it turn the wheels of industry. We have engaged the laws of nature and harnessed their energy to our purposes. The law, which was our schoolmaster, is the same law, but now it is our obedient servant. To know this is what constitutes the difference between spiritual wisdom and spiritual ignorance. The unwise have no alternative. They are subject to the law of cause and effect as a schoolmaster until they learn its nature and until they discover that they may transcend all previous negation. And through the Christ, or truth, enter into a new heaven and a new earth, a different consciousness. When consciousness is changed, experience automatically changes. So basically, where was that line that, basically, okay. So Ernest has this thing about consciousness, okay? It's not just consciousness that we use. It's about being conscious, okay? Mindful might be another word. Buddhists practice mindfulness. Well, that's the same thing as what Ernest is calling conscious use of. We have this tendency to stumble through life because we don't know the rules. So I'm Gen X, right? Well, you may not know that, but now you do. I grew up in, both my parents worked. And so my brother and I, my parents would get up and get out of the house before we got up. We would get up, feed ourselves breakfast, read the newspaper, go out, catch the bus, go to school, come home, make snacks, do homework, and then our parents would come home and do dinner. Sometimes, we ate dinner before our parents got home, depending on what was going on. We knew the rules. If we missed the bus, there was no way to get to school and we would get in trouble. There were consequences. The effect of sleeping through our life, we knew the rules at a very early age. I've always been a proponent of knowing all the rules. And that's what Ernest is talking about. The law of cause and effect has rules. And once we learn what the rules are, then the law of cause and effect is no longer smacking our knuckles with a ruler because we are using it effectively rather than randomly. And that is the biggest thing is once we learn how the law of cause and effect works, then we can use it far more effectively. Now, he said using it destructively. When we are ignorant, we don't necessarily use it destructively, but frequently we do because we don't know what we're doing. Once we learn how to play the game, once we know, then we have strategies, and then we can get what we want because we know what steps we have to take to get there. And therefore, once we learn, okay, this is how we play, which is, I think its name popped right out of my head. Maybe Emmett Fox has, and I think Francis Scoville Shin actually has The Game of Life. So, it's like, there are rules to this thing. Once we learn what they are, our life runs more smoothly because we're not bumping up against the effects that we're causing by not knowing what we're doing. Like in chemistry, there are rules on how you handle chemicals. Because if you handle them wrong, they will kill you. And yet, if you mix them correctly, they can do amazing things. That's life. That is the law of cause and effect. Once we learn how to do it for our life, and that's where consciousness and mindfulness come in. When we pay attention to, okay, if I do this, this happens. Maybe I don't want to do that anymore. Or if I do this and this happens and I want more of that, then I know that I can go back and do more of this. You want love? Give love. The law of cause and effect. It works. It works. And it really does come down to mindfulness. Being aware and learning the rules and learning the natural laws. And I think it's one of the reasons why Ernest said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's and render unto God what is God's. Because the laws that people make frequently contraindicate, let me use a medical term there, frequently go up against the natural laws, So sometimes we have to look at the laws that humanity has made and the laws that nature runs on that we cannot change. And we need to adjust the laws that humanity makes to follow the more natural path. And there are times that we have to make choices. So, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, render unto God what is God's. Remember, God's laws will always supersede. And I'm not talking about the nonsense in the Bible. I'm talking about the way things work in nature. Okay? Don't catch me up on, because again, the Bible, I will agree that they are the inspired word of God, but I will still point out they were written by men and interpreted by men. So when I talk about God's laws, I'm talking about gravity. I'm talking about what causes the birds to sing and the flowers to grow. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Once we learn those rules, once we learn those laws, then we stop getting our hands smacked by the law of cause and effect, and life just works better. All right. Mindfulness, consciousness. That's why I like to say the drumbeat of science of mind is consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. It's all sacred all the time, but when we consciously enter into the sacred and are aware of it, we had this. I'm taking a class from one of our other ministers, and she put us in a breakout room and gave us 4 questions, and it's like, okay. And we 2 of the 3 of us, we immediately said, we like the third, let's talk about the third one. And our third person was like, okay. And it's like, well, we know this. Why do we keep making mistakes? Because we were raised in this system. So let's not beat ourselves up when we make mistakes, when we follow the system that we were raised in, but let's go ahead and be aware that we can change our mind and we can do things differently. And when we pay attention, things work better. All right. I think I'm going to leave it there. Because that really is, if you want do you want the schoolmaster or the servant? The difference is paying attention. And it's not a high cost. Okay? Paying attention is not a high cost. It's a very low cost, high yield return there. Pay attention. All right, beloveds. So now I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Hey, take care of business day. A you got this day. A let's wrap this week up day. A let's not worry about Friday the 13th because it's all in our head day. A dance in the rain if you get some. We got a 50% chance today. I don't know if we'll see any. A drink plenty of water day. A enjoy the cooler weather that we have had, although the humidity has been a bit much day. A tell somebody you love them day. A cuddle your fur babies day. A hug somebody today. Yeah. Get some oxytocin day. A do something silly for yourself day, and eat something amazing day. A you got this day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because I know occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark. Did I say that you were a beloved expression of the divine? A beautiful masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time at your own pace. That is very important to remember. The masterpiece that you are working on, that is you, that's your own pace. It is not a race. Okay? Your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right? Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything is possible. All right. Reverend David should be around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9. I get to go to the park tomorrow, so 9-ish. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.